Last time on Polymorph Self, the epic saga of Seyda, the nicest and most just of all barbarians. I am, officially, the goodest one of all, verified by a mysterious disembodied voice that let me take its magical Healy staff after I solved its riddle. I finally have proof of what I've been saying all along. The rest of my team are jerks. Faced with a directional decision, we chose to go down to the cogworks rather than up to the garden foyer, as it seemed the more likely place to get a drink. Unfortunately, all we got was some annoying humming and a mysterious disappearing dog. Hjani's cool moonwalking revealed some weird time trouble too. Weird whistling led us to an even weirder elf, who Onas tells me was talking about multiverses and existing planes. I'm glad I didn't understand what he was saying, as it sounds like a lot of silly scholar talk. And he immediately disappeared when we left the room. Weird men. All of our timey-wimey trouble started to wear us down, but before we could take a rest, the dog that had been stalking us showed up again. It turned out to be a bad dog, and I had to discipline it, which teleported it through space. Finally, we settled down to sleep. You know, I'm really starting to dislike this tower.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I don't actually remember the rest of the words to that.
That's fine. So you sleep the night in the corridor, and we have to make a check to see if anyone wanders into you, the infamous wandering monsters check. And Onas, if you take a d6 and roll it, 1 means something, an incident occurs of some description. Anything else means you sleep the night away unmolested.
Rolling. I got a 4.
You sleep the night away unmolested. That you can remember. And you wake up 8 hours later discombobulated and disoriented.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
So we might have been molested, but we just can't remember.
Well, I was going to say you're disoriented and discombobulated because there's no sun, you're indoors.
Oh.
You wake up about 8 hours later, but you're really confused and have no concept of time of day outside. You're in a short northwest corridor, the north of which is the long room with the tarnished metal wall. To the south is the shiny metal-plated room that if you choose to enter, I shall re-describe. You wake up. Onas, when you wake up, you kind of sniff a bit, you turn around, and you remember there's a dog corpse with its guts hanging out literally 3 feet away from your head.
Didn't blink away when he died? That was how inconvenient.
No, you've been inhaling that all night long.
Well, who's for breakfast? Got a nice doggy corpse over here.
Wow, we must have been pretty tired.
Yeah.
We all just conked out without noticing the ethereal dog guts all over the floor.
To be fair, we're covered in rat. I think we all smell pretty bad at this point.
I've still got a spider spaff up my nose, so I
now, let me paint a picture with words of Onas. Onas, to start, his robes, his face, his hair were ragged and dirty from all the travel. Then he obliterated, using shocking grasp, 2 wolves, the second of which actually liquefied and soaked him head to foot, and he was caked in half-dried, flaky, half-wet because of the cold, liquefied wolf guts, including the intestines and their contents. And then, without washing, he got mobbed by, I can't get to the end of it, he got mobbed by disease-ridden, filthy rats. And by the way, the disease is called filth fever. I looked it up. And they just sprayed their filth all over you. And on top of that, you then got covered in spider web. And then he's let all that fester for 8 hours while sleeping next to a pile of guts. Time in, that's what you're all looking at right now when you see Onas.
You know that one elf, that mystery elf, must have noses of steel.
Oh, because
he didn't even make a mention of this.
Yeah, nobody that we run into mentions that we must look like we're wearing ghillie suits of filth.
Yeah, now I feel kind of bad for that goth guy. I guess I understand why he ran away.
Not only were you punching him, you were punching him with filth hands.
Yeah, filth hands.
But especially Onas.
Especially Onas.
Especially me, because I've been especially badass.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm going to nickname you Pigpen.
He does now have dreadlocks as well.
Okay.
Whether he likes it or not.
I'm now dreadlocked,
Awesome,
crusty.
man.
Yeah.
Did we get any healing from sleeping all that while?
No, you slept on a cold, hard concrete floor next to a pile of guts. You're
Some of
lucky I
us,
don't give you some nausea bonus.
who may smell very badly of rats, slept with a dog corpse as their pillow.
And I also want to add that Onas and Seyda, it's not a lot, but you're starting to feel a bit like scratchy, itchy, and a bit like strangely like hot on the brow as well.
Fever.
Well, this day is not going to get any worse. Or is it?
Okay, let's press on, guys. There's nothing we can do about cleaning ourselves unless somebody wants to bathe in the
Unless we
body
find
of a dog.
a subterranean laundrette or
Yes.
something, then yeah.
The short corridor exits 10 feet to the south and north. North the way you came, and south to the new room that you decided not to enter until you'd slept.
Let's go south.
Yep, we go
Yeah,
south.
we go south.
You have entered a very shiny room. All the walls are mirrored. It's a north-south rectangle with wooden doors in the east, west, and south walls. Are we going to keep the previous marching order as well?
Whatever that was, yeah. I
Well,
think that
you know
makes
what?
sense.
You've woke up and it's reset. So, super quick. If you are surprised or in a narrow corridor in the future, who will be first?
Go ahead, Chopsy.
Everyone turned and looked at me. Yeah, I'll be first.
Even in a narrow corridor where you won't be able to swing your big
Well,
old
you know,
sword.
I mean,
Who cares?
yeah, where you're not in a
Oh, I
group.
He'll
don't
be
know.
able
I
to
don't want that to
poke.
happen, then it's not be able to use our weapons.
Better her than me.
After Seyda,
I'm usually the
Yeah.
rear.
I'll
Yeah.
go next. I'll go second because I can shock grasp people.
Onas, and then
Me.
Bjorn, and then Hjani.
Heading up the rear.
Got it. You have entered that room. The walls, floors, and ceiling are shiny like a mirror.
So we can see how terrible we look.
Yeah, you can. Wherever you look, you see yourselves.
And our
Well-
reflections aren't doing anything weird.
Good question. They don't appear to be doing anything weird at this point.
What's the light source in here?
That's also a good question because you haven't lit anything, but it's light in this room.
Weird.
Let's not look at these reflections anymore. They're making me.
I go and inspect the
Wretch.
door that is to my right
So
from
east.
entering. Yeah, the east door. The east door.
The east door. Would anyone else like to state an action before I tell Bjorn what happens?
No, I'm going to just stand here to admire my
Hey
filth.
guys, just watch me check out this door.
Bjorn walks to the east door. A plain-looking wooden door set in this bright, sort of shiny mirrored wall. It has a wooden handle. It has no keyhole or lock you can see, and in fact it opens easily and swings in towards you. Staring beyond it, you can see an average-looking 10 by 10 foot stone corridor, unadornished, disappearing off into darkness, 20 or 30 foot down. It just seems to be going straight.
I close the door behind me.
It closes.
Hallway, guys, hallway.
Right, I go and open the north door.
North is the way you came.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I go and open
West.
the south door.
Rebel.
You open the south door. It's an almost identical plain wooden door with no lock that swings inwards and reveals a corridor which is going east and west, like to your left and right, and you're
Okay.
looking at sort of the opposite wall.
So it's running parallel to that other one that was just opened up.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, your standard east to west corridor running parallel over here.
All right, then. I guess we'll check out the west door as well.
When you say we, who will
Me.
open?
I will open the west door.
Hjani opens the door. It is a plain wooden door with no keyhole or lock that you can see. It opens easily. It swings inwards. And you see, stretching out in front of you, a plain stone corridor going off into darkness after about 20 feet.
Well, we might as well go down that one seeing as it's open now.
Sure. Marching orders.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, okay. I actually vote we go down the south corridor because it goes. No, that'd be stupid. It goes both ways. Let's just go through the west.
Yeah, let's go west.
Avoid the one that goes both ways. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Well,
Otis?
because we can't go both ways.
Yeah,
unless we
go
split up.
west, young man.
Yeah,
Let's
go
do it.
west, young people.
I light one of my torches for this dark corridor.
Awesome. Seyda lights her torch and shines it, and she sees the corridor just stretches ahead right to the edge of available torchlight, between sort of 30 feet and then a bit further, but dimly. You walk down it in your marching order, brandishing your torch, and after about, I'm going to say, 3 to 4 minutes of walking down it so that the door behind you sort of disappears out of your light, it ends at a plain wooden door with no lock or keyhole to speak of.
I think we're in a time loop. Shall we open this door?
Let's open the door.
Okay.
You open the door. On the other side of the door, you have entered a rectangular, shiny mirrored room. There is an arched exit at the north. The wooden door you came in, one opposite and one on the south wall. Glancing northwards, you see the butchered carcass of a dog on the floor there.
Oh, drat. You're right.
Oh,
It is
nothing
time
interesting about this place. Let's go back. Let's get out of here.
Is there anything weird happening with the reflections now?
You have not stepped into the room.
Oh.
Okay, so we went west and came back in the east. I command Weasley Crusher to run the way we came, and we're going to wait and see if he comes out of
The door
the
right across
door.
from us.
Yeah.
The
So he's
west door.
going in the east door, and he's going to...
Looking across from you, the east door appears to be closed.
Okay, push open the east door. In you go, Weasley. That's what I do.
So you're going to send him back the way you came?
Yeah.
And you're also going to walk across and open that door?
Oh, actually, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to send him... Hang on, this is getting confusing. I'm going to send him back the way we just came, and I'm going to walk the opposite way.
Into the room?
No, I thought we were in the room, sorry.
No, you opened the door and looked in.
Okay, we opened the door, we're still involved. Right, let's
You
go.
you have to say, I go in order for
Okay,
that
so
to
I
happen.
thought we'd gone in. Okay, let's go in.
We go in, yeah.
We go in, and...
You enter the room. It looks fairly identical right down to the dog corpse in the north archway.
Ew, gross.
Okay, if you send Weasley, one of us should hold the other... I'll hold the other door open.
Right, Weasley's going through the east. I'm going to go back through the west door, and you guys, could you keep the door, make sure the doors stay
Sure,
open?
I'll hold. I'll hold the other
one.
door. Yeah.
Okay, Hjani and Seyda hold the doors open. You release your familiar, your winter stoat.
Yep. He goes bounding.
And he goes bounding like in little waves
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the corridor and disappears into darkness. You then head the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And after about 30 seconds of walking, you do in fact meet him coming the other way.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to keep walking in the direction I'm going in, so I keep walking ahead. And
how about
he
Weasley?
He keeps walking the way he's going as well. We
So-
like do a little high five as we go past each other.
So at last, you guys in the room, you see them disappear east and west respectively, and then reappear through the opposing ways. Whoever went out west comes back in east and vice versa.
Well, I think we've got this sussed.
Yeah. Let's go to the corridor then.
The one that actually does run east to west. The one out
Yes,
the
we'll
south
go.
door.
We'll go south. Let's go east south.
Okay, we go south.
And
the
then
south
east.
door, and then we head east.
You open the south door and go east. That is, you turn left. After a very short distance, the corridor continues beyond your available light, but there is a branch on the right-hand side heading south. On the wall here is a plaque, a sign, a metal plaque. As you stop to look at it, you hear the low growling of hounds coming from somewhere around you.
I listen to find out where that direction is coming from.
It appears to be the south, but as far as the Seyda's torchlight goes,
Oh.
you can't see anything down there.
What does the plaque say?
You read the plaque. It says, "Care beyond this point. Avoid long-term exposure to the source." It appears to be referring to the south direction.
Shall we just keep on going then? East.
East.
Hey, was it Source SAUCE or Source SOURCE?
SOURCE.
Okay.
If
So-
it were in English.
Yeah,
It's in
however
Elven.
That is in Elven. Let's just keep going east.
Okay, after about 50 feet, you enter into a large square chamber. In fact, a 60 by 60 foot square with quite a high ceiling. The walls here are shiny black, and the room is lit by an unseen source again. The light seems to contain a blue tint. Taking up the center of this space is a floor-to-ceiling cube of obsidian. It has been carved all around. Parts of its face resemble organ pipes, but which has like strangely organic twists and turns to it. Other parts have actual faces carved into it. The whole thing seems to be subtly vibrating, and you feel slightly nauseous. Narrow corridors exit the room to the east and west. You just came in one of them. And in the north wall, you see a sweeping staircase going up. And there are also coloured stars by the one you came in and the one opposite also. Like I said, this room is taken up by this huge, weird cube of obsidian carved with all these freaky designs. And the room seems to be tinted blue. There's a weird vibrating. And that hum you heard previously when you were in the when you first came down to this level is like really loud in your head, like a buzzing in your head.
Okay.
And the star on the wall by where you came in is a gold star.
Okay. How big is this thing again? Sorry, how kind of tall is this?
Well, it's a 60 by 60 foot square hall, and it takes up most of it. Like, there's basically a sort of a two people could stand shoulder to shoulder in the space around it.
Mm.
This is creepy.
So we can't actually see the stars on the other side of it.
No, you can't.
Okay,
You'll have to walk there to get the details.
Okay.
I walk there and get the details.
Okay, Bjorn heads around to the north or south of the cube.
Let's go north.
North, okay. So Bjorn walks north around on his way to the opposite side. Seyda, what's your action?
I walk towards the staircase and have a peek up there.
Yep, that's the same direction as Bjorn, but you're going to stop and look up the stairs. Onas.
I cast Detect Magic.
Okay, and Hjani.
I will go towards the south.
Onas, you stay where you are and cast Detect Magic, and the whole place glows up red so brightly that you have to kind of cancel it immediately to stop yourself being blinded, and you get like a massive pain in your head, and you have to go, oh, shit, the source is strong.
Wow, very magical around here, guys.
And at the end of it as well, from back down the way you came, you hear at the same time that you cast that, you hear the baying and howling of hounds back down the...
Is it getting louder at all? Or
it's louder than you heard it before. It's like, it's still some way back down, but you hear that. The rest of you don't hear that, by the way. At the same time, Bjorn and Hjani walk around opposite sides of this thing, and you see all these weird pipes, tubes, arteries, faces, and all these sort of weird macabre carvings in it. Once you get around the other side, you see there is a silver star on the wall and a corridor leading just 30 foot down, and it also has some unseen magical light source. And it goes into, clearly it comes into another kind of small chamber. And Seyda, you look up the stairs, and the stairs don't go up that far. You can almost sort of see into the room, in fact.
Well, guys, this is a very magical thing, and I also... Anyone else hear wolves?
Maybe close the door behind us. Did we do that? Can we do that? Let's do that. I close the door.
The ways into this room were just open archways. There were no doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone want to walk past this silver star with us?
I want to check up what's up these stairs.
I think, you should poke your head up there, and we'll wait down here, but be on hand to
Okay.
give you a call.
I slowly walk up the stairs.
You walk up the stairs, and when you get to the top and look into an identically sized square chamber, you notice it is the first room that you entered when you descended to this level.
Which room was that? Was that the...
It was the one with... You entered it. There were east and west corridors, one of which had a pale blue star on and one of which had a green star in.
Okay.
You went down the green star one to enter the first area of weirdness.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Was that...
Oh.
So this is an equally sized chamber kind of south and below the entry hall, connected by some wide stairs.
So before we even met the... No, sorry. The spiders were...
Before then.
Before then.
This
The
is
spiders
next room.
were on the level above
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay,
Seyda, you see that and return down
Yeah.
the stairs.
That's a way back up to the top.
Good shortcut.
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused by that. Is that are we on the same level as that? Or are those weird magical stairs that bend back on themselves?
The stairs leading up are not, it's about 20 steps up, whereas to get to this level, you went down a winding staircase for like 3 or 4 minutes to descend down into the ground. Yeah.
This tower is weird.
Topographical tomfoolery, that's what's happening here.
I'm confused by everything.
Yeah.
Let's go into the silver star room.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
We go into the silver star room.
Excellent. With Hjani leading the way.
Yes.
The short corridor ends in a small square chamber. It is empty, save for a curiosity in the center. There is a
dead dog.
There is a small round platform made from metal. In the ceiling above is a similar disc of shiny grey metal. Runes and symbols are carved in the floor around it. So, center of the room, a round disc of metal with runes. above it in the ceiling, an identical one. I mean, there's nothing linking them, but they're positioned above each other. And that's all that's in this room, and it's in the center. It's like big enough that, you know, if one person stood on it, they'd stand on the disc and the other one would be above their head, basically.
Right, I walk over to the edge of the disc and I'm going to try and read the runes, but also are the runes and the patterns are they identical on these two plates, or are they different?
They're different, but you can see it is the language of magic spells.
Oh, this is Magic Spellion. I'm going to try reading it.
Okay, what shall we use on your character sheet then? Do you have a read magic spell, or would you like to search your knowledge of arcana?
I have Spellcraft. I have Knowledge Arcana.
I think spellcraft
Concentration.
might come in handy here.
What's your knowledge arcana skill?
My Knowledge Arcana skill is 2, but that's done by my intelligence.
Please make a check and try to beat DC 15 with your 1d20.
That's a D1000 or something. Sorry. Yeah. So here we are. I'm rolling.
I don't think that's a D20 either.
That's
A D12.
12, I think.
That is a D12. Shaming, dice shaming.
Hey, I'm not a what's someone who does shapes? A geometer?
Elementary school student.
I'm not a geometer. I'm a geomancer.
Hey.
That is 18 that I rolled.
Although you're not casting read magic and you're not sure what the exact spell or property is, you can decipher the basic meaning of these runes. It is something to do with all-seeing or seeing far away. Some sort of scrying device.
A scrying device.
Hey, Onas, stand in it.
Yeah, I don't know if it seems to be some kind of a far sight device. Maybe if I stood in it and by reading it, is there any kind of incantation on there or instructions of any kind?
Nope.
Heck, I'm going to stand on it. I stand on it.
Okay, now from the point of view of everyone except Onas, when he stands on it, he just becomes sort of frozen still. And his eyes like roll back in his head and you just see the whites of the eyes. And he just stops. But he seems to be breathing and okay. From your point of view, you just disappear into your vision, the mind's eye. And suddenly, from an aerial view, you are swooping above the valley outside of the monolith, at a position from the monolith. And you feel that with your mind, you could move yourself to anywhere around the valley and see what was currently going on there.
Wow. Well, I'm going to swoop, if that's the right verb to use for an incorporeal being. I'm going to swoop and do a circle of the top of the monolith first. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, you rise up in the air like a bird, but you're only kind of seeing it like in a dream. You're not really even feeling your body. From the top of the monolith, you see the whole snow-filled valley stretched out in front of you in the icy blue river. Beyond it, the mountains, the clouds, the beautiful great wood. You notice at the sort of, to you, the south or the left end of the valley, a group of what looks like 50 to 60 people clad in black. They look like small ants to you, all gathering around a shiny gold object, which is large enough to see from up here.
Right.
Which also happens to be in the exact same place where you left a certain ornithopter.
I can guess what it is. I'm going to zoom in, like is that the right term?
No sooner have you just had that thought that you are sort of swooping down towards it, and you settle as if you were standing among them, utterly indiscernible to them. You see Agonosphos, 20 acolyte clerics, and another 30 heavily armed hobgoblins, all sort of swarming around the ornithopter, failing to move it because it's so heavy, and failing to fly it, failing to even find the power cabinet. But also at the same time, as you are watching this scene, they're sort of frustrated, like unable to do anything about this thing they found. You get some sort of sense as if there's somebody else around in the tree line about 50 meters back from where you landed the ornithopter. But from where you are, you just can only just see the tree line because it's dark and snowy.
Can I hear anything? Is there audio as well as visual?
No, the hearing seems to be some sort of like weird swirly noises in your head. Like their dialogue is like echoing around a sort of metal box and indiscernible to you and weird.
Onas, swoop to the trees! Swoop to the trees!
I'm going to rush to the trees.
Okay, you move your vision quest across the snow, leaving the throng of anti-theophanites by the ornithopter. And as you reach the trees, you notice someone is standing just inside the darkness of the tree line watching them. It is Gop.
I thought it would be.
He is struggling to see what is going on, and before your eyes, and again, he doesn't appear to have any idea that you're there. He's looking, he's humming, he's harring to himself. You see his form blend, change, twist by magic, and assume the form of a giant spider. The same pony-sized spiders you saw before, but there are different details. It has an extra pair of limbs on the front of the thorax, which look like tiny little pincer-shaped hands, as well as its 8 legs. And on its back is a translucent dome housing an oversized brain. Make another Knowledge Arcana check, DC 15.
I'd love to. Okay. This is getting...
We're not seeing any of this. We're just
This is
like...
an amazing trip I'm having.
You're seeing a weirdly white-eyed Onas.
10, and my
He's always
modifier is that plus 2 my modifier? So yeah, I didn't make it. I made it 12.
Something tingles in your memory that you might have seen something like this amongst the wondrous tomes in your magical university, but you can't recall any details at the moment. But after Gop takes his form, you don't know if that's his true form, if he's changing into it. You don't know which is the original. Although you can take a guess, because it's pretty weird. He kind of scuttles easily with the aid of his legs and webs up to the treetops and continues to watch them from above. And you, even without thinking, just sort of hover up with him, from your sort of Vision Quest point of view.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is all very interesting. I'm gonna, maybe I'll come back. I don't know. I'd like to, can I go anywhere in the valley?
No sooner as you start picturing things in the valley, you immediately start moving towards it. The other places that you know of were the strange sort of the monument, which had the strange sort of very sort of just basically stick monument statue, the burnt out camp, and somewhere beyond the forest up the other end was the you thought was the anti-Theophanite camp. Okay,
what I do is, because I guess all the anti-Theophanites are down here, I go to the place where we got into the monolith. I just want to see if there's anyone trying to get in there. Or
you swoop up the stone stairs through the tunnel of trees under the canopy to the place where you originally entered the monolith. The monolith wall looks like just a pure wall of pure obsidian with no entrances, but you do see several of these dog things stalking around there and occasionally sort of blinking out and hopping from place to place, like 5 or 6 of them all just sort of milling around outside.
Okay. I'm picturing myself inside the monolith now. What happens when I do that?
Your eyes flutter and you return to the observation deck. You stumble forward, catch your balance, and you are back in the room. Everyone, Onas has sort of come to.
I catch Onas in my arms.
You do that. You catch him. You turn your body and get him.
We look like
romantic
we're in a
cats.
tango.
You do it. You tango catch him.
Get off me! What are you doing?
Sorry, you look like you needed help.
Does he leave his crust on you?
Yeah, I'm now stuck.
I don't know who you were asking, actually.
Since you said get off me, Onas stands up and peels himself off Bjorn, who now has a reddy brown dried guts patch stuck on his front.
I didn't have a nose before, but Onas has really nice eyes.
Well, guys, I just saw some stuff, basically spider transforming thing in trees, gop, and anti-Delphinists.
Wait, what? Spiders
You're just
transforming
always
gulp?
seeing things.
Yeah, I'm just seeing things. Anyway.
He's like one of those annoying people who tell you about his dreams,
So wait, you're saying that outside right now, anti-Theophanites are trying to get our golden bird?
He's not saying that, and you can't react as if you know it.
I just wanted him to get done with his rambling.
Yeah, I was
then say it.
Well,
fine.
That's what I was doing.
20 minutes later.
Actually, the last time you had a vision and decided to wait till later, it was 3 episodes later.
All right, so I need to recount everything that you said?
It's up to you. Only if you want to.
Well, I know,
I'm not forcing your hand.
I want to, but just for everyone's sanity, can I just...
Word for word?
Well, yeah.
Well, let's give it a good cut-in point. I probably won't edit this out, but somebody say, "Hey, Onas, what happened?"
Oh, and then you do want me to relate it?
Only if they ask you.
Okay, okay.
I would never say that, so someone else is going to have
I'm not
to.
going to ask him. I don't want to hear any poems.
Okay, guys, I'm going to...
Onas, where did you go?
Well, let me tell you. I was disembodied and I floated about. I felt a soaring power.
Keep going. Sorry.
Okay. So I was soaring about and I I was up in the air, up in the sky, swooping about, and I saw there's a bunch of anti-theophanists. They're hanging around the ornithopter. And, oh, by the way, Gop's a shape-shifting giant-brained spider with these tiny little hands on the front of him.
I knew it.
And there's more of those blink dogs outside as well, blinking about.
Are they multiplying?
That's every time they blink, another one blinks into existence.
It's like every time a bell rings?
Every time a bell rings, you get a blink dog. Did they not tell you that in Sunday school?
No. So wait, now we're going to have to face down like an army of blink dogs.
And a brain spider.
And don't forget the mad, crazy death cultists as well. Your friend, One-Eyed Jack, is out there.
It's going to really cheese me off. There's 182 blink dogs.
Actually, they go exponentially.
Talking of which, the baying and howling of blink dogs can be heard emanating from somewhere to the west of you.
Told you.
I told you.
So, is there any entrances or exits in this little room that we're in?
No, only back the way you came.
Let's go back the way we came.
Onas, you're pretty sure this chamber is, a magical, observing, far-seeing chamber of for that purpose.
Wait,
It would look that way.
before we go, does it sound like the blink dogs are coming closer?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say we could stay here and set a trap for them.
Look, I'm fed up with being underground. That taste of flying around in the open air made me want to go upwards. Let's go up these steps and explore the rest of this thing.
Let's go back the way we came because there was another way to go. I just feel that it's going to lead us into another one.
Oh, yeah, I hate those loops. They drive me loopy.
Essentially, there are two areas that you 100% haven't investigated at all. That was the opposite direction in the very first room and the place by the sign where the blink dogs
there's a
baying
sign
was
place.
come from. Yeah.
Sure.
But it's up to you. You don't have to go anywhere you don't
There's
want to
also
go.
west down that corridor. We only went east, right?
That's true.
If we go down the blink dog corridor, we could just send one of Onas's fireballs down there ahead of us. See if it catches any dogs.
That's a good idea.
Blink dog.
So where are we going to go?
Let's go back.
You are currently in the observation chamber.
Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to go. We're going to
head back
south or at where the
head back through the gold doors. Send a fireball down the south corridor where the baying hounds were, and then we'll see where that takes us.
Okay, so we walk back out.
We walk
from
back
whence
out.
we came.
You exit the chamber, going back into the large, thrumming, blue-tinted, vibrating hall with the macabre black cube carved in the center of it.
I touched the cube.
Awesome. You walk up. You place your hand on the cube with a very soulful look on your face. Like you're communing with the cube. So what I need you to do is...
Oh, shit.
And he just looks... DM looks around for his notes. Is to make a DC 12 fortitude test. What is your fortitude saving throw?
1.
Okay, so make a check. You have to get 12 or above, and I will then describe what happens.
All right. I rolled a 1.
A natural 1. Great. Bjorn says, wait a moment. He walks to the cube. He takes a breath. He places the flat of his hand against it and closes his eyes soulfully. You feel the vibrations traveling up your arm through your body and shaking you to your very core. You start getting intense pains in your temples, blinding lights in front of your eyes, and a massive wave of nausea. And you go into fits and fits of throwing up until you're dry heaving. Your hand breaks away. You collapse onto the floor, at which point it all immediately stops, except you just throw your guts up as your body retches to get rid of it, and roll 1d4.
Can I just say he doesn't fall to the floor because I jump forward and grab him and lower him down like a tango?
That is amazing. So what we'll do is you'll roll that 1d4, then I'll recap what happened again.
Okay.
4.
Okay. Your body retches and rends and contorts so hard you take 4 points of damage. But what happens is as you rip your hand from the wall and double over to empty your guts, in steps Onas and catches you in a tango. He looks into your eyes and holds you, swinging you round, and you throw up all over him, projectile vomit drenching his face, his nose, his face, neck, and chest. Get drenched once more in projectile vomit, at which point he says to you gently,
"My darling," and I wipe the vomit from my eyes. "Are you okay?"
I gave you an Earl necklace.
Hey, when did we have carrots in the last 24 hours? What's the deal with that?
I'm going to call that your 5th layer.
Guys are so gross.
They taste like carrots, anyway.
Can we leave them here?
You know what's interesting? Since you acted as a kind of shock absorber, Bjorn got no sick on him.
You're very absorbent.
I'm just absorbing all of your bomb.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You only take 3 points of damage because your fall was cushioned and you didn't hit the concrete.
The power of love.
Hopefully I'm now so disgusting even blink dogs won't want to...
Onas, you're beyond noticing smells now.
Yeah.
It's all one smell to you.
Yeah.
I wish I was beyond noticing smells.
All right, guys.
Let's go.
Don't touch that.
Quick, through the gold door. I'm going first.
I'm coming second.
Hey, guys, wait for us.
Okay, exiting the room, you find that your torch, which is over halfway used now, will have to come into play again. The corridor was dark. You enter the corridor, walk about 40 feet down, and you come back to the southern branch with the sign on the wall, the sign which says, "Care beyond this point. Avoid long-term exposure to the source." And again, from the south is more clearly the braying and howling of blink dogs. Of course, it does continue west to the door that you entered through and beyond.
Is the source not what I just touched?
I thought it was. It's very magical. Did I tell you that? It was so magical it hurt me when I did detect magic earlier. And
I don't know that you ever told us.
Yeah, I should have told you. Probably don't touch it.
Oh, Bjorn, one thing you did learn from touching, getting up close is once you could see the raw material it's carved out of, it's pretty much exactly the same look and feel as the outside of the monolith itself. The kind of like very plain, shiny obsidian.
Okay, enough of this.
Like a glassy volcanic rock that's actually a little bit translucent at first, but it looks black because of the depth of it.
You know, if blink dogs are anything like regular dogs, I bet you walking down there, Onas, would just singe their nostrils so bad they might...
Well, I was thinking I may be of either going down there or conjuring myself up a fiendish wolf just to lick me clean. If that would work.
Are you going to put peanut... I don't have any peanut butter. What do you...
You are free to do that. You have slept. All your spells are restored.
Yeah, all my spells are restored, but I can only think of ridiculous things to do with them. Okay, so are we at the plaque? And
yes, we're at the plaque.
You are standing at the southern branch, which has the plaque on the wall.
Okay, I cast Fireball, Flaming Sphere, and I send it off down the south corridor, and I move it at a such a speed that we can keep up with it by a little canter.
I believe it was as many rounds as your levels, right?
I think that's true. Yes.
So what's your
one round per level?
Level
so
4.
It's,
so it's like you
four.
get 4 full, and if it's non-combat, you can just keep it going.
Okay.
four actions with it.
So we're gonna reverse Indiana Jones this time.
So of course I'm now taking the front of the column, I guess, because I'm casting the spell.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about Indiana Joneseth, the ancient.
He's a guy with
theater
fedora,
star.
Black leather.
Oh, you
brown
found him in
leather.
the
Yeah,
mound, down
exactly.
in the mound. Yeah, that guy. That guy. I got it.
Seems like some kind of trouble he'd get himself into.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, my citizen ring.
Yeah. You stand back. Oh, that's right. You robbed that ring off his corpse, off Indiana Jones's fedora-clad corpse. Yeah. You stand back. Onas conjures up a waist-high, impressive, flaming sphere from somewhere around his waist height, and he sends it rolling down the corridor. And you can see that 30 feet later, it sort of rolls into the end of the corridor, and there's some sort of large manhole, open hole on the floor at that point. Your flaming sphere is hovering over the hole because it won't drop down it unless you would command it to move down.
Which, of course, I do.
You command it to go. It goes out of your sight, right? So you're not going to be able to control it, but you essentially drop it down that hole like a bomb. At which point you do, in fact, hear the howling and yelping of dogs, and then you lose control. So, unseen to you, something happened, but I am going to have to ask you to roll damage.
When you say I lose control, you mean of myself, of my faculties? I'm so turned on by the sound and smell of
that's the end of the
burning dog
spell.
flesh.
That's the end of the spell.
I feel kind of bad that we did not confirm that those dogs were bad.
It could have just Just being like a
bunch of puppies.
Puppy party.
Well,
Puppy party.
I believe that it does 2d6 points
Oh,
of
sorry,
damage.
I'm rolling for damage. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, roll the
You're
2d6
right, it does
points of
2d6. Here we go. I've rolled a pink 4 and a blue 2. So that's 6 altogether.
Okay, so you drop it down, you do hear a yelp, and then your
Just one?
spell is off. Yeah, you hear
Oh,
a yelping,
cacophony.
barking dog. You hear one.
Okay.
And then now it's back to a dimly lit corridor ending at a hole in the floor.
Seyda, there's a hole in the floor. I think this is your
Why
time
am I
to
the
shine.
one that we send down holes in the floor?
It's about 20 feet away from you. You can just make it out holding your torch up in front of you.
Let's
I
up
go and
take a
peek
look
over
down.
the edge of the hole.
Seyda walks forward to the hole, and you see there is an iron ladder built into the wall of this descending shaft.
I throw my torch down the shaft.
Oh, as you look down to do that, you see that there's a blue glow at the bottom, suggesting the area below is kind of lit in the same way as that room with the cube in, like a sort of blue-tinted magical light. Would you still like to drop the torch down there?
Yeah.
You drop your torch down there. It makes a flickering noise as it sort of splutters its way down. It lands on the floor and is still